Hello, dear soul. If you are noticing that there's a lot in the world and inside of you that that is not making sense to you anymore. We have lived through a long, long time where we have been asleep to what's been going on, both inside and out. We have not questioned anything. We have just basically gone along with the narrative, with the way things were, with the beliefs we have inside about ourselves and about the world. And that is not how it is anymore for many people. For many other people, it is still like that. They're not questioning any of it, or maybe they are questioning a few things. But for many of us, there's a lot of questioning these days. There's simply, the statement, things just don't make sense. And if you, if that's your experience too, I would say really pay attention. These are signs that you're waking up to the dream, to the narrative, to the status quo, which you have never questioned. None of us have, because why would we? We didn't have that consciousness to question it. There was just, you're born into it, and this is how it is, and always will be, right? There's always a struggling to be safe, to get by, to have enough money, to find the right partner, to have kids, to get a job so you have enough money, you make enough money, and then you have enough money till the end of you at the end of your life. These are things that we have not questioned. And isn't that a little strange? When you have, if you have that, if you have a bigger belief that there is a divine, there is a God that is supposed to be loving, unless you have grown up in a religion where um, there's, the reprimanding God and a punishing God, and you were born in sin and all that nonsense, never been questioned until a lot of people today, of course, are questioning that. Thank God, thank Goddess. But whatever it is that you are questioning, please pay attention. Don't try and make sense out of something that does not make sense in you, as a feeling, as a felt sense, as a knowing, as part that goes like, huh? Please don't question it, and please don't try and make sense out of it by making a story around it. Oh my God, I hear it all the time. When people notice something is off, and then they make a story. Well, it's because of this, and it's because of narrative they've heard. And then they stay in the story with an extra layer of story. But for those of us who have the capacity to pause, say, what is this? And start listening to that part where you say it doesn't make sense. That is your soul sense, or your sixth sense, or your deeper sense that knows, that just knows something that this one does not know. And we are asked and invited to listen to this, huh? I've talked about it before, and it is really an important subject that we all need to pay attention to, because this is a sign that you are waking up from a dream. Maybe just this much, maybe this much, maybe this much, and it's going to grow and grow. The more you listen to this sense, even if everybody says you're wrong, just listen to the news, just listen to this person. Do not listen to them. Listen to this. This is where your guidance, your wisdom, your awakening, your full body expression of the divine, your fulfillment, this is where it's going to come from. But this thing here, it's like it's been bottled up by these beliefs. You can think about most things that we have been programmed to believe is fear, right? I've talked a lot of the fear, that fear is the fuel of the matrix. So we've been pumped with fear, and that fear makes us contract so that we cannot receive the fullness, the grace, the fulfillment of the divine, which is everywhere. It's the field, it's all around us, it's inside and out. But we have done this because of the fear programming in our mind. But now something is waking up. It's like, for me, it's been like, why is everybody afraid of everything? Why am I afraid of everything? Why am I afraid that things won't work out, that I can't afford it, that there won't be enough money? I did do a video just a while ago um, about having enough money till the end of my life so I can survive till the day I die. It's a very common belief. I just heard another friend talk about it again the other day. I'm like, Hmm, she's not questioning it, just as most of us have not questioned it. It's just this thing. I need to make sure, I need to work hard, I need to be successful, and I need to make enough money so I can put enough away so that there's enough when I come to the end of my life. I had enough, and the rest can be passed on to somebody else. Very common belief, rarely questioned. And then there is also, all these core beliefs that are what I call the sin that we are born into. I had another video on that, that we are, do I want to say it again? You're not good enough. You're not lovable. There's something wrong with you. You're bad. All these core, heavy duty beliefs living in all of us, all of us. Maybe there is a one here and there who kind of got through without being all, infected by it. Nobody's questioning it. I need to do therapy. I need to work on, find out why I believe that. And I need to find out a way to get beyond it. Everybody. And as a Hakomi therapist, I see also in myself that every issue we have leads back to I'm not good enough. There's something wrong with me. Whatever that the flavor of that. Nobody's questioning it. Like, why is it that everybody has that deep underneath our joyful expression? So these are things that we need to question really, really deeply. Is it really true? If you believe in a loving God, in an infinite universe, in a field, a cosmic field of infinity and infinite expression and expansion, how is it possible that we all believe in the opposite? Well, many of us don't anymore, and that's because we are waking up from the dream, and now we can say, that does not make sense. I can feel it in my body. It makes no sense. And this is where I go with it, and you can see where you want to take it. I go like, I will not feed that nonsense anymore. And I take a stand, right? It's like I put a stake in the ground and said, this is enough. You can come here, but you cannot come into my field anymore. I will not feed you. I will not believe you. Now, does that mean it's gone tomorrow morning? No, I wish, but it's an ongoing thing. And the more we do that, the more we grow in our divine will, because that energy is like, okay, we've lived through that. That was an interesting experience to live in such a state of duality where we believe that I'm separate from the divine. It's an experience that we have all chosen. It's nothing wrong with it. But my friends, we're done with it. Aren't you? Aren't you done with it? Is it just me? I doubt it. So, this is where we can go and say, okay, I will not engage in that anymore. And that's where the deeper work starts. And then we need to, meet all the layers that still believe it. And we have proof and evidence and the reasons why it's true. But something in us now knows that no, this is not true. And then I can add to that, it is a program from the Matrix, whatever that is, that could be a whole other story, but it is a program that we are all acting out in here and projecting out into the world. That's why we can say, see, I'm right. Evidence all over the place. No, it's only because we have these beliefs that we have accepted. So now I want to invite you, it's an invitation, and see, do you want to keep living in that state of limitation and fear, and may I say, delusion? Do you want to keep living like that? And just feel. I kind of know most will say no, and that's rightly so. But how are you gonna make that leap? How are you gonna change such a deeply ingrained belief, and how are you gonna move through it? Maybe you want to give up. It's like, oh my God, that's so much work. And yeah, it's a bit of work. I agree. It really is. But the good thing is that the more you really want to live from the divine truth, from your divine essence, from the fulfillment of who you truly are and already are, the more you can let that become your reality, the more you feed that and stay engaged with that little by little, while you also do the deeper work, meeting these parts with love. I don't know if there's a way around it yet. I think there will be soon, because the energies are really here supporting this transformation that we're going through, where we are beginning to let go of this separate sense of self, the belief in a separate sense of self. It is still a belief, and all beliefs, of course, happen up here. So, if and when we are willing to question those beliefs, even question that you are separate from your divine source of fulfillment. Because if I am at one with my divine source of fulfillment, how is it possible that I'm not experiencing that? Right? That's where we say there's evidence. There's evidence all over the place. And yes, there is. But the evidence is that slide in the projector that we have taken on as a belief. I am separate from the divine. That means I do not have full access to the grace and the flow and the fulfillment that I am. It does start with allowing yourself to question what does not make sense anymore. It's simple. It's just like, yeah, the way the world is, the wars, the way people treat each other, the way people are hoarding and lying. And then you can go to yourself, the way I still am feeding that world with my emotions, the way I still believe that I have to work hard so that I can make it till the end of my life, the way I still contract when my car breaks down and it's a big expense, like, not enough. How am I going to make it? I can relate to all of it. But I'm also moving out of that because all of us have been part of that programming. Now, for me, there is a place of resting. And I have shared before that in the past, I had a lot of quotes that I would use, Bible quotes, because that's kind of was um, my foundation with Joel Goldsmith's teachings. I'm not a Christian. I'm not really anything except just who I am. But I was really beautifully influenced by that, by a number of quotes, many quotes that gave me something to rest in. And, when you have something like that, it has to be felt. In the beginning, it may just be a mental repetition or mental affirmation, and that's fine. Most of us have to start somewhere, right? But then over time, when we also are committed to making ourselves feel it, what does it feel like if this quote is really true? What would I feel like? What would it feel like? And then there's something that relaxes because it's so opposite of what our beliefs are. But I'm not talking about bypassing. I still would say we do need the work to bring, let's see, this truth into every part of the body that is still holding on. So it's not just for the mind. It is certainly something we need to almost drink in and breathe in and then really make it our own. And also, taking a stand. It's like, no, this is the truth. This is how I want to live. This is what I want to be guided by. Peace, knowing that I am taken care of, not going to that part that says I have to do it all on my own. That's been a big one for me, and there's still layers of that. So I can speak from my own experience to you that it is really a process. For me, it's been many years. I do believe it's much easier now, like I said before, because the energies are here supporting the awakening of our beautiful planet with all of us as little cells in it. So we're all waking up together. And that's why the more of us do this, on our own or together, there's more little light cells starting to shine, which affects all the other little cells that are still living like this. Everything is impacted by our light. It's not just for us. So let's pause here. We'll probably talk more about it. Also, some things how I am moving out of these identities. It starts with layers and layers. And then suddenly, for me at least, I can see, oh my God, it's a whole identity. And then little by little, I'm just allowing that identity to start to be softened and released because it's not real anyway, but every cell in my body has felt like it was real. And there are many ways we can do that. I'm a Hakomi therapist, so that's a way of really helping people come into their direct felt sense experience. And I also use the tapping, which is very powerful. It's like tapping it out of the meridians, the energies. There's many, many, many more ways. Breath, so many things. You may have your own, or you're welcome to reach out to me if you want to do some work with me privately. But for now, my friends, just take a look at what is it in your life where you go like, That doesn't make sense. And then pause. Don't just dismiss it or try and make sense out of it. No, it makes no sense anymore. And just stay with that. How can you be present with the experience where you feel like this doesn't make sense? Can you stay there without trying to make sense of it? That's kind of what I'm saying. That's what we normally do. We want to be in control. We want to understand things, but there are times where that's not available. And that is when we dip into the mystery and then we allow the mystery to show what does make sense from our soul sense. Okay. Please comment if you want to. I always appreciate it and enjoy it if you do comment and if you like and subscribe and share with your friends. Do you think there's somebody else in your life who's also going like this? Does not make sense anymore. Maybe they will benefit from listening to today's video. All right, I'm wishing you a beautiful day.